12th Zoology video class, Chapter 2, Continuations of Female Reproductive Organs. In the female reproductive organs, we are going to see accessory organs. What are the accessory organs in the female reproductive system? The fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, and these are the female accessory organs. Fallopian tube, here, this is a structure of female reproductive system. So the parts I'll show you. This is what the fallopian tube. Can you all see these three parts joined together? We say as a fallopian tube, or we can say as a oviduct, or we can say as a uterine wall, uterine tubes. So these are the three names are there for fallopian tubes. Here the fallopian tube extends from periphery of each ovary to the uterus. Here this is the periphery of the ovary to the uterus. The proximal part of the fallopian tube bears funnel shaped, called as a infundibulum. Here can you see, this is what the funnel shape, they called as a infundibulum. The edge of the infundibulum have many finger like structures. The edge of the infundibulum, they have many finger like structures, that is we call as a fimbriae. So that fimbriae helps in collections of the ovum after ovulation. The infundibulum leads to wider central portions called as ampulla. The last part of the oviduct, is called as a isthmus. That is very short, thick walled, connecting the ampulla and infundibulum to the uterus. So that is the functions of isthmus. The next we'll see structure of uterus. The uterus, also called as a womb. It is a hollow structure. It's a thick walled, muscular, highly vascular. Its shape is the one inverted pear shape. The structure is lying in the pelvic cavity between urinary bladder and rectum. The uterus is just lying in the pelvic cavity between, underline this sentence, the uterus is lying in the pelvic cavity between uterus, bladder and rectum. Here the major portion of the uterus is the one body, and rounded regions superior to it, that is we call as a fundus. Here the top one, they given here uterus, the top one we call as a fundus, and the superior regions and the top regions, and remaining whole parts we call as a body. The uterus opens into vagina through narrow cervix. Here this is part is called as a vagina. They open into vagina, that through external orifice. With external uterus through the internal orifice also will be there. The cervical canal along with the vagina forms birth canal. The wall of uterus, you will see wall of the uterus. The wall of the uterus has three layers of tissues. The outermost layer is a thin membranous and layer called as a perimetrium. The middle muscular layer called as a myometrium. The inner glandular layer called as a endometrium. Here, so this is the inner side only called as a endometrium. This endometrium undergoes a cyclic change during menstrual cycle, while the myometrium exhibits strong contractions during parturitions. Okay, that's during delivery time. Okay, the next one, vagina is we'll see the vagina. Vagina is the one largest fibromuscular tube that extends from cervix to the exterior. It is the female organs of the copulations. The vagina is the one used for the reproduction. That's what they say as the copulations. The female reproductive structures lie external to the vagina are called external genitalia, or also we call as external genitalia, also called as a vulva. This vulva comprising labia majora, labia minora, hymen, clitorius. Hymen, clitorius. So these are the parts. That parts will be present here in this area. And there are some accessory glands also are there in the reproductive system. We'll see that one. The Bartholian glands are there. It is located posterior to the left and right of the opening of the vagina. So the Bartholian glands, they secretes mucus for the lubrications the vagina and are homologous to the bulbourethral glands of the male. The male reproductive organ, there is a one glands are there, accessory glands are there, bulbourethral glands. They also secrete some kind of lubricating substance. Here Bartholian glands in female reproductive organ, the Bartholian glands also they secrete the lubrications in the vagina, lubricate the vagina. That's what they say is a homologous to the bulbourethral glands of the male. The next one is Kin's glands. It is located on the anterior wall of the vagina. It is located the anterior wall of the vagina. You can go through in a textbook, around and lower end of the urethra. So these Kin's glands secretes lubricating fluids and are also homologous to the prostate glands of the male. You can just take your textbook, you can underline the Bartholian glands. Just I put hyphen, the Bartholian glands located in the female reproductive organs. Whereas just put a slight hyphen, just write here bulbourethral glands. The next one just write second one Kin's glands, just put a hyphen. Then just write here the prostate glands of the male one. The next we'll see the external opening of the vagina is partially closed by a thin ring of tissue called as a hymen. This area will be there, the hymen. So that hymen is often torn during first coitus. That hymen is often torn during first coitus, means physical union, a sexual contact they say. In some of women it may remain intact, or it can be stretched or torn during sudden fall or jolt, and also during strenuous physical activities such as cycling. So this hymen may just torn off with the heavy physical activities such as cycling, horseback riding, etc. So therefore it cannot be considered as an indicator of the woman virginity. Okay, the next one is the one, we'll see next topic is the one mammary gland. Here this is what the mammary glands. The mammary glands are modified sweat glands present in both sexes. It is a rudimentary in the male. Okay, its own functions as much as the functions in the female one. Rudimentary in the male and the functional in females one. A pair of mammary glands is located in the thorax region. It contains glandular tissue and variable quantities of fat with the median nipple surrounded by the pigmented area called as a areola. So it contains a mammary gland. They contain glandular tissue with variable quantities of pigmented area called as a areola. Then also they have several sebaceous glands. Just I'll show you the diagram. This is for the mammary glands. Also they have sebaceous glands called as areolar glands found on the surface, and they reduce the cracking of the skin of the nipple. Here you can find the sebaceous glands, which they secrete the sebum like structures, like oil structures. They used prevent the cracking of nipples. Internally, each mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes. Here, internally they consist of 2 to 25 lobes separated by fat and connective tissues. You can see the parts: suspensory ligaments, adipose tissues, lobes, that's the toe lobes, 2 to 25 lobes are the areola, nipple, lactiferous duct, mammary, ampulla, mammary duct, lobule containing alveoli, mammal, mammary tubules. So these are the parts are present in here. The next we'll see each lobe is made up of lobules. So that lobules contain acini. Or alveoli lined by epithelial cells. The cells of the alveoli secretes milk. Underline this one. The cells of the alveoli secrete milk. The alveoli open into mammary tubules. Which one secretes milk? The alveoli, cells of the alveoli secretes milk. The alveoli open into mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Then several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla, which is connected to the lactiferous duct in the nipple. And you'll see the lactiferous duct, they connected. Then under the nipple, the lactiferous ducts expand to form lactiferous sinus, which serve as a reservoir of milk. Each lactiferous duct opens separately by a minute pores on the surface of the nipples. So this is the structure of mammary glands. The normal breast, so we'll have one more information about the mammary glands. The normal development of breast begins at the puberty and progresses with the changes during each menstrual cycle. The non-pregnant woman, the glandular structure is largely underdeveloped and has been size, and as the breast size is largely due to amount of fat deposited. The size of the breast does not have an influence on the efficiency of lactations. So this is what the information is about the mammary glands. Go through today itself, just learn this diagram, mammary glands diagram, and just draw and just write the points, write the notes as a point wise, then learn the female reproductive organ fully. Just draw the diagram, draw this diagram. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through WhatsApp number. Okay, bye. Take care.